Where have I been all this year? Hey guys, welcome. Yeah, that's a $1 million question. Where have I been? I have not been on YouTube. I have barely been on social media, and yeah, it's been. It's yeah, a lot has been happening. I mean, my vibe. A lot is always happening behind the scenes. Um, but this time it was a little different. Yeah. So I think some of you might know that I moved earlier this year, and officially started living in my new space on April 14. Between April 10 to 14, that whole time was a lot, right? Anyway, a lot has happened since then, right? Where there has been a lot of healing, a lot of hard conversations with myself and others, a lot of shifts in terms of what I do, a lot of reconnecting with myself in terms of me recognizing that I lost touch with who I am outside of what I do because I spent so much time focusing on what I do. You get me? So it's just been a whole lot of just recalibration, reflection, rejuvenation, and yeah. You'll find I really love alliteration, guys. Like, give me triple R's, give me triple F's, give me like all of these things. Right now, my Instagram bio is triple B's. Yeah, so rejuvenation, rest, reset, redemption, walking, and so much more. That I think that's a full synopsis of where I've been. But in the midst of that, I did try to focus on the new paths that I was taking, focusing on more of my passions and talents rather than skills that I have built over the years, right? So earlier in the year, I did announce that I was walking away from my 13-year career in digital. And what I've pretty much converted that into plugging those skills into my digital. I used to call it a media house, but it's now more than that. It's a creative Christian marketplace, media hub, and missions group, if you will, right? So that's Page, and then also an entity that my husband and I have started. That allows us to focus on creating specific business solutions for persons who come to us directly, right? So I am not like legit. I meant it when I said I was walking away from actively serving clients and promoting clients through my own efforts for digital, particularly because I want to focus on things that make me feel fulfilled, right? And things that I feel released to do in this season of my life. So that stated, I focused a lot on Island Essence, which is my food brand. And I started the year just really trying to just feel things out and, understand what I really want to do, how I want to sell my food, how I want to serve my food, things like that. Finding my way in the industry as well, seeing, which other persons inspire me or entities inspire me and which, that kind of a thing. And so that has led me to a new chapter of Island Essence. Interestingly, I was going to be relaunching Island Essence the very same week that Hurricane Melissa touched down in Jamaica. And of course, based on how food prices have gone and all of that, and just a few more learnings, I have decided to shelve a lot of what I was planning to do at that point. And I'll explain that, a little later on. But yeah, it's just been a lot of interesting starting and stopping with Island Essence. But the brand is very much alive and the vision is very much alive. It's a matter of how I achieve the vision and how I effectively steward that brand, right? And then in the midst of that too, I'm not putting pressure on myself because I also really want to steward Elise's vocal studio well, right? Elise's vocal studio is my voice training business, helping you to step into excellence as it relates to your voice. So I've been really excited about that. I launched the Sonar method in August into September, and I was able to work present, and even beyond that, I've been I've been a vocal coach for the better part of 5 to 6 years. Music has been that the biggest constant outside of God. And my mother has been the biggest constant in my life, and so I decided this year that that's going to be my focus, not just helping to multiply, but also on the flip side, truly launch out as a gospel artist. And my artist name is Navi. And so it has just been a lot of recognizing what I truly want to do, what makes me feel fulfilled. And in identifying those things, I've somehow been able to reconnect with myself in terms of allowing myself to feel freer to express my true opinions on things and express, just all of that, and to be okay with being myself and not feeling like I have to be a certain way to fit into this box or to be accepted or whatever. Like, yeah, whether or not you accept me at this point, that's up to you, right? But yeah, I've lost too much time trying to, work things out and make people feel comfortable while I was uncomfortable. And I'm not saying that I need to be this mean person or da 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 da. But the truth is, I am a very direct person. I am a very, I pride myself on being honest, right? And I am that person who is going to tell you her opinion, whether you like it or not. In terms of, if I see you as a friend, you're gonna know how I truly feel, right? I don't feel good when I'm saying something like that I don't like that you did, and then I to your face, we're acting like we're all good, or you get what I'm saying? Like it bothers me. So you're gonna know, and then based on you knowing, you can either choose to stick with me or not. But I do not want to lie to you, especially if I respect you as a friend. So that's just me, and that's just the standard that I have for friendship. I do expect it from others, but I have come to finally understand that not everybody operates at that standard, and that doesn't mean that they're a bad person, but I just have to accept that. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, so I would say that this is the most free that I have felt in being me, in standing 10 toes down in being me, and also doing things that flow naturally from me, if you get what I'm saying. And then all of that comes together to indeed give God glory as best as possible. Again, I'm not perfect. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. But at the very least, I want to please God. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, this year has truly allowed me to have that full exploration, and the trigger was me moving. And for all of that, I'm absolutely grateful for just how it has all played out. Like it was not easy, has not been easy, has not been perfect, but it has been productive and transformative, and I'm excited. What has been interesting though is that I have recognized how much my desire last year to go into full-time content creation has come right back, like come full circle, As I reconnected with myself and thing, I realized just how much I want to share, and share in a purposeful way, right? So I want to inspire, I want to make an impact, and so fine through my food, I want to inspire persons to find elevated ways of eating clean on a budget. Yeah, I know all of that sounds so oxymoronic, but we'll get there. And then as it relates to music, whether I'm singing one of my original songs or I'm helping others to then step into more excellence relating to their voice. That's also, in my view, making an impact and thing. But in terms of sharing from my personal brand, yes, it is still a brand with C. Marie. I wanted to like not come back on social media and not come back on YouTube until I was fully clear about what I was doing outside of making an impact through page, right? You know, those wholesome messages and stuff like that, right? I needed something that was distinct and but still very true to me, right? And didn't just put me in a box of cooking all the time or sharing face videos all the time, or you get what I'm saying, or sharing music all the time. So I was able to really do that deep dive. And a few things came out of that that I will not announce just yet. But I want to share more on the basis of human personal growth and healing. From a very real place, I am no professional, but I have been through many cycles of pain, hurt, and stuff, and also healing, growth, and forward movements. And so I want to just be able to share from that place of what I've been through and things that I've learned and things in a way that will allow others to be able to benefit from that. And then in between, you have, little aspects of things from my life and stuff. So I am working on or committing to building the habit of providing one weekly vlog. I'm not even going to try and tell you I'm going to post every day. One weekly vlog on YouTube that will also have, a few clips from for social media, and maybe I'll do one or two social media videos. But even with that, I'm not going to be doing this intense content plan for the year. Like I'm not going to run this brand like a business. It does have potential to earn, no problem. But I want it to be free flow, even though it is structured. You get what I'm saying? And yes, call a spade a spade. I, especially at this point in my life, when I'm planning certain things, planning for debt reduction, planning for a family, like planning for all those things, I don't have any interest in unstructured. I don't have any interest in something that's just, oh, let's do this because we feel like it kind of a vibe. I'll leave that to my marriage and my relationship and my time with God and stuff like that. So cool. But anything that I'm doing externally, for me, has to be structured. Has to make sense. I have to plan for it and have to be able to turn it off. You get what I'm saying? And that's just how my brain works at this point. And I'm fine with that, So, yeah. So in me showing up on social media, it has to be structured. And I have to decide what I'm sharing and what I'm not sharing. So I've decided to just really sit in that and be okay with that and recognize that I can do social media my way. Whether I post 3 times a day 1 week and 1 time a day for another week, or 3 times a week, cool. I will develop that structure and be okay with it versus being ruled by, what the social media experts say or what the influencer experts. I have no interest rather in being one of the typical influencers. And the reason I say typical influencers is because we've all come to know influencers as having codes here and ads and brand deals and da 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 da. But the truth is, I am an influencer. You possibly are an influencer as well. You can influence someone based on your specific perspectives and stuff like that. And in being a leader, you have to be okay with the fact that you are and have the potential to be an influencer, right? So on that basis, I know I am an influencer, right? I am not an influencer in the sense of what society says, based on, all the market deals and whatever. But you never know what can come from what I'm doing, right? But I'm not close to that. But saying that to say that's not my goal, that's not my aim. I just want to be able to make an impact and be able to have persons benefit from what I share, whether through food, music, things that I share through page, or this brand with C Marie. That's where I am, right? And then anything else, yeah, do my thing, right? But yeah, so I feel very clear. I feel very, just level-headed in relation to how I'm moving forward for 2026. And I know man a plan, God a wipe. You get me? I know that, yeah, sometimes things don't go according to plan in a lot of ways. Like I know that, but the truth is that I'm okay with that. Like based on what all of the hard conversations that I've had with myself, with God, and with others this year, and just the different changes that have taken place and the different seasons that have changed. Um, I'm okay with giving outlines and seeing and working towards things, happening according to that outline, but understanding that life does not fully work that way. You get what I'm saying? So, that stated, yeah, I'm jumping even more into content creation with a full, clear view of my why for every single brand that I have. Even Paige, has gotten a whole lot of reconstruction between August and now. And I've gotten so clear on the renewed vision for Paige and things. Like, I was struggling with Paige because I had lost the essence of what the Lord wanted me to do through Page. And I started trying to build Page through worldly lenses in the sense of trying to get more followers with this, trying to collaborate based on all the vibes. And so I had to go back inward because Page is bigger than what it is now. And but it can't be built according to worldly principles for the fact that it's God's thing. You get what I'm saying? So I had to do that inward thing, and at this point, I don't care how crazy I look for starting and stopping and whatever. When because the goal is getting clarity from God and moving only when God says. You get what I'm saying? So I'm grateful that I've gotten the clarity for each brand, and I've taken the time to get that clarity for each brand. And yeah, that's what's up. So I feel that 2026 is definitely going to be different based on a lot of the plans and a lot of what I'm hearing from the Lord in terms of these different brands. And what I require is consistency and building healthy habits to effectively move in obedience. So that is my main thing, working on my consistency and developing healthy habits to prevent burnout, because I know that my body has major, alert things, alert bells, if you will, that say burnout imminent, da 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 da, and I shut down even before I even realize it. So I'm doing my very best to systemize things in a way that will truly allow me to achieve the goals in the midst of everything. All right. Anyway, guys, so I'm going to wrap this up right here because, of course, this is the beginning of weekly videos, at least one per week. So let's see. Later.